Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world, to the world of Wayne. Now let's get this right. We are now working on box 11, which is stages 41, 42, 43 and 44 of the IXO Collections release of Build the Peugeot 205 1.9 GTI. Now once again, this is a French release, which is why, as you can see, the magazine's in French, but all the instructions are in English and they are on the website, and I put the link down here. You can get this all the way from box 1, and basically, as you can see here, this is where we're up to. Now, there is something really good in this box, and let me just show you that. They gave us a little bit of the paint that's used for the bodywork, so if we accidentally do some nicks and stuff while we're going along, they've actually gave us some paint to cover that up with, which is great. Not going to need it because mine hasn't got any nicks at the moment, but let me show you what we are doing in today's box. As you can see, this is the magazine. I'm just going to quickly turn through it. It shows you all about the Peugeot brand and some of these pugs here, but we're going to be doing the exhaust system, the converters, catalytic converters, and the electrics, and that's pretty much going to cover, look, we've got a speaker to put in as well, that's pretty much going to cover this box. We've got the battery packs, we've even got some slide decals to put on, so I'm going to need to bring some water up here. And then once all of this is wired in, there's that paint pot that I was on about there. We are going to have a car which is pretty much ready to go, with all singing, all dancing, with all the electrics ready to go. But I am absolutely loving this build. I said it does take me back to the 80s when I did have my 80s. No, it's actually early 90s that I had my Peugeot. God, I think I'm older than I am. Anyway, listen, without further ado, let's get cracking. So I'm going to tip all these parts out. We've got lots of electric wires. I don't think we actually use the electric wires in this one, so I can put them to one side. And also the speaker, I don't know if we use that in this stage either. Let's put that to one side. So to start off with, we need this part of the exhaust here, which is looking like that. Slightly different from this one. This one's got raised lugs, this one hasn't, but you will see some numbers in here, and we're just going to be taking the exhaust parts, which are numbered as well. As you can see, that's got a number 1 on it with the lug, and just putting that into each side. So this one's going to go in here, just pushing that down, and that's going to hold itself in. And then we do the same on this side, looking for number 2, which is on there like that, and again pushing that lug in there. So we have got an exhaust system which is complete. They are holding themselves in, but we do want to put a cap on that, and that's what this is for here. Once again, you've got an arrow in here. We want to make sure that both of the arrows, because you've got an arrow in here as well, face the same way. So this is going to be going on this way, just over the top. And it's going to be held into place just here with some AP screws. So I've got them here. I'll put them down this side. This is the first one. That's one. And the second one is number 2. That's what that looks like when it's finished, but we don't need that now, so I'm going to put that to one side. But we do need to bring the vehicle over. First bit of electrics, we are going to be putting the speaker in. So I'm just going to get this out here. This is what the speaker looks like. And quite simply, what we want to do is when we put it in, we want to make sure that the wires are facing towards the bottom. So that's going to go in kind of like that there. And it's going to be held in place for brace. This is what the brace looks like. It's going to go this way round. As you can see, you have got an indent side there. It's going to go this way round, and I'm just going to put that over the lugs to keep that in, just like that. It's going to be held in with BM screws. So that's the first one going in there. That's the second one. I haven't put them in too far, just so I can get all 3 lined up. And there's the third one. Tighten all of these up. So now we've got the speaker system installed in the Peugeot. You do want to make sure that this brace is really tight, because you don't want any vibration on the speaker there. And that is all there is to do in that stage. Now stage 42, working on a little bit more of the exhaust system. So I'll get all these out. Did you hear that metal drop then? So just like last time, we want to take this, we've got an arrow in there so it shows us what way it's going, and we've got a small part of the exhaust looking just like that. It's got a number on it. So number 4 is going to go in this way towards the back of the arrow, and that's going to fit in just like that. It's going to be held in with an AP screw. So I've got one of them here, and I'll put the AP screw in that side, make sure it's nice and tight. Then we want to bring over the exhaust we did last time. We're looking for number 3. Which is this side here, labelled number 3, and that is going to go on the other side exactly the same way. Once again, held in with an AP screw. You don't realise how long these exhausts are until you put them together like this, but there you go, that looks just like that. And then once again, making sure that the arrows line up in the same way, this is just going to go over the top like that, and then it's going to be secured in once again with AP screws. So that's the first one. Nice and tight. And there's the second. So that is pretty much the whole exhaust for the vehicle. I can put that to one side, and we're going to be bringing over the vehicle now and turning it upside down, because we're going to be putting this brace in. As you can see, we've got a lug at the bottom. This is just going to go into the screw hole that we got here, and we have got a locating lug hole next to it. So this is actually just going to go on like that. That's going to be held in place with a CM screw right through the center there. Excellent, that's in. And then the last thing it wants us to do is to put a decal on. Now, just turning this around here. Now this car already has a decal on it. It's actually going to go in here, but I'm guessing there's an error on this decal because they have sent us a replacement looking like this. Now the good thing is they've sent us 2, so if we do make an error here, we've got another one to back up from. So I'm going to put this in some water and just slide that into place. So because this is only one decal, this should be quite quick, but I am going to put my glasses on and get my tweezers for this. Put the decal in some water for about 15 seconds, and then I'm going to actually apply it while it's on the backing here. So bear with me. It's a little bit tricky because we've got a wire in the way, but I will get it in. And then I'm using a cotton bud just to squeegee it off. And that's the decal in place. I have to say, I don't know what the difference is between those decals are. It's so tiny, I don't think it would have mattered. But they have replaced it, so whatever was wrong with it has now been fixed. That's all there is to do in that stage. Okay, in issue 43, we're going to be connecting another pipe up here. I'll get all these parts out, and then we're going to be bringing over the engine again. Because what we need to do is we want to take the return fuel pipe, which is a long pipe here, and we're going to be putting it down the gap that we've got between the expansion bottle here and the air filter. It's just going to go down there through the vehicle. So then that comes out the bottom here. We're going to make sure we put it through the hoops that we've got the other cables through. It's going straight through the middle of these. That's 2. Put it a little bit tighter. Just turned it round because I realised I had this brake line cable here going into through this point at the back here, which it wasn't meant to do. So I've now fixed that so I can get this one in. Just like that. So that's now fed through all 3 of those. Turn the vehicle over again because the other end of that fuel pipe, which is right here, is just going to go onto the nipple, which is just underneath this section here. So I'm just going to tidy the wires up a bit just so I can pass this through. Got my tweezers, and I'll push that onto the end just like that. There we go. That's the fuel line connected through the vehicle now. Once again, we can put that whole car to one side because we're going to be working on the fuel tank now. So this is the start of the fuel tank, and as you see, we've got a space in here for a hexagonal nut, which I've got here, which is going to drop that in there. Then we have got a cap to go over the top, which looks like that. That's going to hold all of this into place, especially the nut, and that's going to be held in with JP screws. That's the first one. And then this is the second one. Then we're going to be taking the full battery box. As you can see, this is going to be taking, it looks like 2 AA batteries in there. But that's going to go into this cavity here. Now the end with the wires is going to go towards this side here, not the switch side. So that's just going to go on top like that. And that's going to be held in with AP screws. Now we have got the switch attached to this as well. The switch is going to be going into the hole here for the switch. Just trying to line that up. Just like that. And then both of the battery pack and the switch are going to be held in with the AP screws. Start by securing the switch down first so that doesn't move. Again, I'm not putting these in all the way, just enough to get everything lined up. That's the switch in, and then we've got 2 for the battery box. That's 1. That's 2, and then just tighten everything up, and then I will make sure that that switch is able to operate. There's a switch there, as you can see, no problems at all operating that. Now we do want this lead to be coming out through the top side, so we want to train it round sort of like that there. And then once again, turning the vehicle over, we're going to be putting this in where it goes. It's going to fit on just like that there. I will trace these wires just around it, but I want to keep this in place first. And they're held in place with BM screws. Just going to take 2 of them. So 1 in here. Just like that. And the other one just into the other side here. And there we go. That's now solid in place. Now the loose end that we've got from the fuel return pipe, which if I show you on the close-up camera was this one here, is just going to go into the hole that we've got just into the side of the battery box here. So I'll put that in first. There's actually 2 loose end leads here. They're both going into these sides here. So I'll get them in and show you what they look like. And that's the second one in there, just like that. Now I can just release a little bit of that slack on those, just so that's perfect. I will extend these though, because I want this cable to go round the battery there. And that is all there is to do in that stage. And then in stage 44, we're working on more electrics and the control box here. There's been a lot to do with electrics on the channel this week. Have you noticed that? That wasn't planned. So that is what the control board looks like. So we're going to need to mount this first. And basically this is what it's going to be mounted into. And with the 2 sections on this facing this way, this is going to go in exactly like that. It's going to be held in with 4 AP screws. I am loving this build and I can't wait to see where all these electrics are going. We haven't actually done the dashboard or anything in the vehicle yet, so there's going to be looking at all of these ports that we've got. There's going to be a lot of things lighting up, I reckon, and making noises. Here's the second one, and when they're all in, they should look just like that. Now there's a picture on the screen which shows you where everything goes, but there is also letters on the control board so you can actually match them up. So quite simply, we're going to take the speaker cable just here. We're going to pass that through the square block just at the back here, like that. So that's now running down the vehicle. Turn it over. As you can see, it's on the outside here. That's labelled C, so we're going to be plugging that into C on the control board. I have put a picture on the screen to show you where that goes. You just need to make sure you put it in the right way. So that's the first one in. Now the second one we got here, A, is going to go right next to it. This is already on this side of the board. So we plug that one in. And that's A in, as you can see there. And then pretty much every other cable we've got, I'm going to feed through that square hole just at the back there, making sure they go the right way round. So the H cable is probably the weirdest one, because we've got two ends at one end and one at the other. It's the one end that's going to go through the hole. And I'm just going to post all of these through. So that's H. It's obviously the smaller ends here that we want to pass through. This is F. Then we've got D. Put that through. I can pull them through when I want afterwards. Same way with K. We just want the single end to go through. And then the last one we've got is E, looking like that. We'll put that through as well. Just enough so I can turn the vehicle over. And just like last time, we're now going to post all of these into their sockets here. So at the end of this, there should be 6 plugged in. I'm just checking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, I've got 6 of these leads plugged in. We don't actually do anything with those leads at the moment. Eventually, I'm guessing it's probably going to go in here like that. But we just leave that where it is at the moment. Turn the vehicle back over again. Just going to tidy these wires up a little bit. Just like that. And then just put that to one side quickly. We have got the battery box cover to work on now with a screw. And that's just going to go down here. Now this screw, once it's in, you keep turning it. As you see, you've got a clear section there. So it's never going to fall out again. It's always going to be in there. So you just turn it in here. You'll all the way through, and then that's ready to go on the battery box. Now in the instructions it wants me to put a spring and a washer on here, but I don't have a spring and a washer. I don't think I got that in mine, but it's not going to make the blindest bit of difference, because all we're doing is putting this in here. It just makes it a little bit easier to take it out, I guess, just like that, and screwing this down. That keeps the battery cover in place there. I'll turn the car back over, just put that to one side, because we've also got this, what it looks like an exhaust bracket. That's still spare, and we've got obviously the exhaust system. They've also gave us some points to elevate the car so that we don't put too much pressure on that chassis while it's not fixed in place as well. But that's all there is to do in that pack. I love doing electrics. It really does make me happy and put a smile on my face on this Wednesday morning. But the vehicle, as I said, we have got some bits left over now, which are going to be obviously put in the next pack, so we need to keep them safe. I have had a good look around. I couldn't find that spring and washer, but as you see, it makes the blindest bit of difference. It just makes it so when you undo the spring, the cover's going to flip up. But, you know, you can do that with your finger. All good. If you want to get this for yourself, once again, put the link down here to the IXO Collections website. You can get this all the way from pack 1. So it's looking like that. I can't wait to see what these electrics connect to as well, because I really don't have any idea at all. But I really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Click that notification bell and you'll be notified every time there's a new video. Other than that, take care.